Love 15. Mensik serving first. We'll get the screen going in a second, guys. Give me a sec here. $30-15. Mensik serving well in the first game. Great inside and forehand there. Swinging freely. It certainly helps with nerves when you have this monster serve, like Jakob has. I think the fact that Mensik has won the ATP 1000 in Miami, even though this is a big stage, his first semifinal of a Grand Slam, I think that does certainly help to deal with this circumstance. He has a phenomenal chance to make it into the final here. Because the question mark is, will Zverev take this opportunity that he has? Maybe it's an opportunity that won't present itself maybe ever again. Hard to say that. Will he falter under the pressure? We shall see. 40-30. We'll get the scorecard going in a second, guys. I'm going to need to take a little break here after this game to get going. Tried a couple of new things on the live stream. I scheduled it and I had a couple of problems this morning, but we'll figure it out. 40-all serve and volley from Mensik. Zverev with the backhand pass on the run, misses it into the net. Add in. Your stream is too late, boss. What do you mean the stream is too late? What are you talking about? The latency? Another serve and volley from Mensik and a nice hold in the first game. Guys, we'll be right back, okay? 15 all. Great hands from Zverev there. Zverev looking good early. His volleys have gotten a lot better, Zverev's. When he first came on tour, they were a lot shakier. He has improved. His feel has improved as well, for sure. Drop shot, Mensik goes into the net, 40-15. Zverev hitting freely. Keydon says, nice board back there. Yes, Keydon, we're going to introduce something new today. We're going to talk tactics potentially with my board. I use this for my doubles course on intuitivetennis.com. So we're going to potentially use this to illustrate a couple of things here and there. We will see. Big hitting from Zverev so far. He's swinging freely. And that's that nice two-handed backhand from Mensik. He's got one of the best backhands on tour. Down the line pass, 40-30. The cooler weather conditions are not great for Zverev, says Boris Becker. I disagree. In the standpoint of nerves, Zverev will be able to hit freely in cold conditions and rip more. Yes, he himself said that he prefers lively conditions and, fast conditions. I mean, after all, he was in the final of Madrid 4 times. Those are lively conditions. But do you remember the final of Madrid this year? So if Zverev has a shaky day, nerve-wise, doesn't trust his shots, is tentative, fast conditions will hurt him. He'll either make unforced errors or he'll slow down his strokes a little bit to gain control and be too passive. When the conditions are cooler, he will be able to swing freely because the ball is slower. Some of the best tennis that I've ever seen Zverev play were under those conditions. 2022 Nadal match, it wasn't sunny that day. And then 2024 Nadal match at Roland Garros, they play indoors, I think. So that's the best tennis I've ever seen from Zverev. Take a look at some of those matches he played in Munich over the years, where it's like very cold. Like he destroyed Shelton last year in the final, barely lost any games. The guy is very, very good when he can swing freely. Add in. The drop shot from Mensik, too deep. Zverev runs it down and puts away the volley, 1-all. Similar game from both so far, says Random Tennis Gal. I agree. Anna, what's going on with the board? Hopefully there's something going to be going on with it. Some tactical things. I have it here just in case. to illustrate a few things here and there. Love 15. Loose ball error there from Mensik. So one sec, guys. That return was missed opportunity from Zverev. 15-30. Got to make that return. Zverev will likely choke again, says Billy Bali. We shall see. Sure, you're referring to the Dominic Thiem match. I mean, that's a legitimate statement in regards to that match. But which other ones has he lost where he had it firmly in his hands? Probably add the Alcaraz match. This year Australian Open, maybe Nadal, Indian Wells. Forget the year where he had match point at 5-2 in the third. Had an easy volley on match point. Let's see, what else? I did a video on this. I mean, there are certainly examples, but it's not as many as people think. I mean, people hyper focus on that Thiem match and label Zverev as this huge choker, which I think is unfair. You know, when you lose to Sinner in the finals, that's not choking. When you lose to Sinner in the semifinals, that's not choking. When you lose to Djokovic in the quarterfinals like last year, that's not choking. It's just a skill discrepancy, and it's maybe a mental game discrepancy. Those guys are just stronger. But what the choke means is like you have the match on your racket and you let it go because you're, you know, not playing your best tennis, or you're too tentative, or you miss easy shots, you get tight. That's choking. Like I said, Thiem match, you could make that argument, even though, I mean, you could definitely make the argument for that match. I recently rewatched that one, but like I said, there's maybe a handful of examples in a career spanning over, what is it, 10 years already, with hundreds upon hundreds of matches. So it's a bit unfair, I think, to label him that. It's just like a golden opportunity here because he doesn't have to go through those guys that are better than him. You know what I mean? Like him losing to Sinner has nothing to do with choking. It's just that Sinner is better. That big serve from Mensik right there down the tee. Add in. We're at 1-1. Three tight service game. Zverev ripping. And misses it back into the net. Mensik holds 2-1. Okay, guys. Got to do one more thing and then we'll be ready to rock and roll over here, okay? All right. 2-1. Mensik Zverev serving. Second serve kick to the backhand. That's a looper forehand from Zverev. Another one down the line. Slice Mensik. Strong forehand from Zverev inside out. Backhand miss from Mensik. 15-love. That's probably the hardest backhand Zverev has hit today. Down the line, he absolutely demolishes it. 30-love. Yeah, these conditions, like I said before, these conditions are perfect for Zverev. A little bit slower gives him that freedom to rip. Last two sets against Hodar were exceptional from Zverev. He's playing very aggressive. Was absolutely demolishing the ball. Another strong backhand from Zverev. Cross court this time, 40-love. Mensik is a diesel, gets a while to get going. I don't know if that's true. Is he a slow starter? Didn't really ever perceive him as such. That's a very strong hold from Zverev. Love hold, 2-all. Let's see if Zverev can make any inroads on the Mensik serve. He was there in the first service game. Zverev standing very far back on the return. Zverev with the grunt. Slicing. Zverev rips and grunts the backhand. Drop shot Zverev down the line. And converts it for a winner. The fact that he's grunting in the first point of this game is an indicator of Zverev really applying pressure in this one. Also, the fact that he converted this drop shot is an indicator that he's not feeling it that much, nerve-wise, because in that first set against Hodar, the drop shots were bad. There's a couple of them that went to the service line, and then, second and third set, they were a lot better. So I think he was maybe a little bit tight in that match. He was down 2-5. Hodar served for it at 5-3 and then kind of gave him that game with some unforced errors. And then Zverev opened up and loosened up after that. There's a double fault from Mensik, love 30. Also, another thing that is something to consider is that when the guy is grunting and applying extra energy, extra intensity, like early on your service game, that can have an impact on the server as well. The server is like, oh, okay, this guy really is trying to break me here. There's an ace for Mensik right there, much needed at love 30. Hey, Yappa man, good to see you in here. Yes, let's hope it's a good match. Second serve, Mensik. Let's see if Zverev sneaks up on this one. He doesn't. He probably wants to protect that backhand, kick to the backhand. And there's a drop shot from Mensik. That's the danger, of course, when you stand that far back. And a couple of different ways to approach a kick serve. You can stand further back, or you can try to be aggressive and cut the angle off and take it early. Again, in Zverev's case, I think he prefers time. He prefers time to be able to swing. And not only on the return of serve, but also on his baseline positioning. Of course, when the ball doesn't have a lot of penetration, Zverev can move up, will move up. But generally speaking, he likes a little bit more time behind the baseline for his big swings. Zverev targeting the Mensik forehand, tries to go down the line, and that forehand did not look good from Zverev. Dumps it into the net. 40-30. And look, from a tactical standpoint, I'm not saying that this is necessarily a great thing for Zverev, the fact that he stands further behind. I'm just saying that that's his preference. That's like intuitively what his game style requires. But like, for example, against someone like Sinner, from back there, you're not going to beat Sinner. You might be able to beat Mensik, but you're not going to beat Sinner from back there. That's a better rally from Zverev. Again, grunting. and ripping that forehand. I will add the current version of Sinner. Of course, Zverev has beaten him before. Talking about that the current version of Yannick, the only way to beat him is playing aggressive. Big serve from Mensik there. Huge forehand. There's a backhand approach shot. It's very hard to come in on that one. Misses it into the net. Add in. Yapaman says you can feel the nerves with the errors they make sometimes. You know, Yapaman, you're onto something. Early in this match, I would have said, and I've said actually with that drop shot, I don't see the same type of nerves from Zverev that I've seen against Hodar early in that match. Definitely thought it was tight there, but there's, you know, a few clues here and there how you can tell whether somebody's tight or not. So it's really interesting. Sometimes when players are tight, they will not grunt. They will kind of hold everything within themselves, and they're just tight. Big example, like Rafa matches. In the first game of a huge match for Rafa, you wouldn't hear a peep out of him, like no grunting, maybe in the first couple of games. But then as he got into the set, the grunts would start coming out. So he like started opening up and everything started clicking, opening up. But sometimes grunts could be, you know, from nerves as well, because you're tight. So it can go a couple of different ways. I will say that this particular game right here, this 2-all game, was not a good game from Zverev. It looked a little bit tentative to me. And of course that, like I said, the defensive court positioning is very far back behind the baseline. He was looking to get this break from Mensik. He was looking for Mensik to give him the break rather than taking the serve from Mensik and just attacking. He did try to attack on that one point with the backhand and try to come in. So, but on a lot of the other points, he was just keeping the ball in play and looking for that error from Mensik, which didn't come. And I think even with this field of players, to take the Grand Slam title that way is going to be tricky. It's possible, I think, but it'll be tricky. It's impossible to take a Grand Slam from Djokovic, Sinner, and Alcaraz playing that way. Impossible. So we'll see. This is just the beginning, though. Zverev might, like I said, Zverev might start playing aggressive, and he had a good hold in his previous service game to Love. He starts this game off with a big serve. Might have been a bad bounce. 15 Love. Guys, I'm quitting coffee after Roland Garros, so I will be definitely for the next couple of days. I'll use a little bit of coffee to get the energy. Forehand shank from Zverev, 15 all. True tennis vibe. I'm quitting coffee because I'm not sleeping well. I haven't been sleeping well. So I've quit like 10 times. And also I overdo it. I drink way too much. I drink way too much of it. I quit chai though. I'm trying to drop weight. Here's a rally. And Mensik with a backhand miss. Mensik far from his best so far, I will say that. Miles from New Orleans. Coffee's healthy for our age, good for circulation. Love New Orleans, by the way. Been there several times. One of my favorites. 30-15. Drop shot Zverev, very good. Second drop shot from Zverev, second winner. Serving well. Jess Green, wasn't he with Murray? He was with Murray, I think. He got Murray ripped, this guy. I remember. Murray became a beast. He came on tour, a little bit skinny. I mean, obviously Murray is an incredible athlete. One of the best that we've seen on tour ever. But then he transformed into like Hulk. And he was an absolute monster, Murray. Great hold from Zverev. 15 hold. The previous game was a love hold. It's starting to click on a serve. And let's see here on this return game, if Mensik gives him the opportunity, of course. Mensik can, if he starts dropping the hammer on the serve, it's going to be tough. But if Mensik gives him the opportunity, let's see if Zverev can be a little bit more aggressive. See, one thing, and we can illustrate this on my board. I will show you guys. If this is Mensik right here, if Zverev is returning from here, and if Mensik uses that slice serve right here, if Mensik is returning from this area, this is going to be tough for him. He's going to have to take big cuts on those returns. And he's got that defensive return positioning, and it opens up that opportunity for Mensik to go wide. But there's an unforced error from Mensik, 15-all. I'm still behind. I'm trying to solve this latency problem, but it appears that the latency is actually my stream today, because I've got a very nice app here, and my actual coverage is a point behind. Then you add the latency from YouTube, so I'm way behind. And there's nothing you can do about that other than making sure I'm completely live. But it is what it is. Okay, hold on. Maybe I am not. Hold on. Jump to live. No, I am all the way live. Yeah. I am all the way live. 30-15. Second serve from Mensik. Let's see what Zverev does here. Will he sneak up? Will he stay further back? What will he do? He is very far back. I'm telling you guys, this Zverev likes time on his ground strokes to be able to rip. Huge forehand from Zverev, 30-all. The way you want to look at this is it's just player dependent. It doesn't mean automatically further behind is defensive. You can make an argument that a certain player, if he or she stood closer, would actually play more defensive. By standing further back, they allow themselves to take bigger cuts and play more aggressive. So you can't always equate where they're standing, close or far back, with offense and defense. Not always. But then again, that serve right there, that's killing Zverev. You see that? This thing is like not even in the cam. I'm going to have to adjust my camera in a second. (40-30). Another wide serve from Mensik got Zverev. It got him good on that one. 40-30. He goes T, slice T, misses. Second serve. Very, very far back. Not as far as on the last one. A little bit closer, but he gets a forehand return. He shanks it. Hold Mensik. 4-3. Okay, guys, hold on. Let me adjust the camera real quick. Camera adjusted. Interesting match so far. Very interesting. Yappaman says Jakob's intensity is less than in the matches before, in my opinion. Maybe not feeling 100%. Are you detecting that, Yappaman? It could be. I'm not doubting it, but he's doing okay so far. I mean, he's not. Both guys are nowhere near their best, I will say. It's not the high quality match yet, but they're taking care of their service games. They're not serving that well either. I mean, Zverev, last couple service games from Zverev were better, and this service game from Mensik was good, probably his best one. But I'm suspecting the level will go up in this one. Happy this match is played outside. As I've said, I'm not the biggest fan of indoor on clay or even on grass, but I'm grateful that we don't get, rain delays. So 15 loves it. Zverev definitely in a groove now on his serve, which is, I mean, it's like Captain Obvious, but that without that, I mean, that's the most important part of his game right there, the serve. He goes T, misses it, second serve. Keydon is not a dampener fan. I'm not either. Never play with a dampener my whole life. But I have dampeners, intuitive tennis dampeners, not on sale. Do you guys want to hear an exchange over my dampener story, my giveaway story? It's a funny one. $15 Another forehand error from Zverev. There's quite a few forehand errors so far. It's a little bit alarming for Zverev, but again, it's the first set. Can't draw too many conclusions from that, but for sure, forehand slightly off early in this one. He loops it. Mensik goes hard on the forehand. Zverev not moving well on that one. His feet got stuck. 15-30. Couple of poor points from Zverev there. Danger zone. It's a big hitting from Mensik though. I think Mensik's forehand is very underrated, and people are just stuck in this belief that it's got some kind of problem, the forehand. That's when it was in juniors. It's not anymore. The forehand is good now. He got it in. Slice passing shot. Zverev did not do enough with that volley. Here's 15-40. 2 break points. This is huge. Squash shot from Mensik low. Zverev couldn't do that much with the forehand and didn't do that much with the forehand approach shot and didn't do enough with the volley, and there it is. Chance for Mensik right here. Hey, Super Dave. Good to see you in here. You're back. Let's see, Zverev can pull out some big serves right here. He needs it really bad. And that's not a slice serve. That's a bomb wide, right? So that's a big serve wide. It's not this one that I'm showing here. That's I'm not gonna have to draw it, but the trajectory on a slice is this. Slice trajectory is this. Flat wide trajectory is this. This is flat. And it's good to mix those up, you know, when you're going wide on the deuce side. Another big serve from Zverev. Mensik gets it back, then a rally. Zverev with the looper forehand. Short. Couple of short forehands from Zverev. Mensik doesn't take advantage of it though. 3 forehands in a row on the service line from Zverev. He hits it a little bit harder and converts because Mensik dumps the slice into the net. Missed opportunity by Mensik because Zverev gave him 3 forehands around the service line. Mensik did not attack. He did not attack, and then finally Zverev rips one a little bit harder down the line and saves the second break point. That was a missed opportunity for Mensik right there. Was not aggressive enough on those short balls. Where are you guys seeing Agassi? I'm not seeing him. You guys, this is probably Eurosport, right? Different cameras. We're on TNT over here. I saw Agassi yesterday in the studio, but you guys are saying he's in the stands covering his face. There's another one of these looper forehands around the service line from Zverev. And Mensik more aggressive on this rally. He needs to be. When Zverev, anytime Zverev gives him that loopy thing around the half court, he needs to punish him and go into the corners. Fantastic break, fantastic cross-court backhand from Mensik. Rips it into the corner. Zverev slices and misses it. Third break point opportunity for Mensik. This is huge, guys. Huge moment in this first set right here. Mensik not standing that far back on Zverev's first serve. Zverev taking his time. Let's see what's coming with this serve, guys. Misses it. Second serve. He didn't even hit it that hard, that one. I mean, actually he did. 214. It didn't look as hard as he sometimes hits it. Deceiving. Speed deception on screen. Second serve. Second serve to the forehand from Zverev. Forehand service line. And Mensik misses it. How many forehands Zverev has hit to the service line in this game without being punished for it? Mensik's got to be kicking himself. Frame forehand there on break point. 3 break points saved. ATX Super Dave says nervous looking forehand from Mensik. It could be. It could be. It could be a little bit tight, that forehand. Wide serve from Zverev. Another looper forehand inside the service line this time. He goes to the backhand. Attacks with the backhand again. And Mensik with a horrendous forehand off a let court. Wide open court forehand. Somebody covering their face in the stands. That was a very poor miss from Mensik. Zverev came in off of that. He literally had the whole court open, but did not do a good job with that one, to say the least. 2 poor forehands back to back from Mensik. After I praised this forehand as being good now. There's a big serve from Zverev. He comes in with the volley. Mensik on the run. Almost makes that forehand. 4-all. Poor game from Zverev. Very poor game from Zverev. And if he was playing Sinner right now, he'd be down 5-3. And the set would be over in about 10 seconds. Because Sinner, those looper half-court forehands that he was hitting, he hit like 10 of them in that game. Sinner or Alcaraz or Djokovic, they would have ripped into the corners and he would have been toast. But he's fortunate that Mensik, he missed easy forehands back to back. Zverev has to raise his game big time in this one. 4-all. And again, that one, let's go back to our board, guys. That was this one right here. That's that slice. Zverev returning from here. You know, first of all, he didn't get there properly, but I think he has this right here. Okay, and that's a very interesting shot because it looks like it's down the line, but it's actually cross court. If you look at that line, it's a diagonal line. And he can rip when he gets a slice service, as long as he times it okay, that return, he can rip it here, and it's not that low of a percentage shot because it's a diagonal ball. See what I mean? But he needs to be able to hit it clean. That's the difficulty of it. But Zverev needs to, with his court position, he needs to look for that down the line forehand return. Mensik again with that slice serve. That's a better forehand from Zverev, heavier, deeper. He goes down the line and misses. 40 love. Yeah, Mensik is getting a lot of errors from Zverev. Yes, the forehand is no good today from Zverev. It's not good today. It's missing, and it's also very, very short in some of these rallies. 40 love. Another forehand return error from Zverev, 5-4 Mensik. Let me get an eraser real quick for the board. I'll be right back, guys. Guys, I want to tell you real quick, Simone is so mad at me right now. He never does this. He's always with me wherever I go. It's very rare that he will not be in the same room as me. Right now he went into the bedroom and he's sleeping on the bed, which is weird. And I tell you why he's so mad is because of this. Because I put the board here. Simone does not like the board. He's very angry about the board, guys. He does not like this one bit. All right, Zverev serving to stay in the set, 4-5. It's a monster serve from Zverev, 219 kilometers per hour down the tee, 15 love. Nice backhand from Zverev there down the line. Forehand looking better in this game. And he goes for a poor shot selection, drop shot. See, guys, this is something that that I want you to think about when you play tennis. If you find yourself here, and you're going for a drop shot, right? You're hitting a drop shot either here or here. The huge disadvantage is the obvious one. You got a huge hole here in the whole court. So drop shot should be attempted from the middle of the court and not from over here. So that was a poor shot selection from Zverev. 30-15. So even if you would have made that, I mean, unless it's a winner, you know, pay attention to where Alcaraz hits drop shots from. And most of the time, it's like first and foremost is when he's dictating play, but it's from here, from this area right here in the court, inside the singles lines. Ace Zverev out wide. I think that's his first ace. Let me check the stats real quick. Yes, first ace, in accordance to my stats over here. 40-15. I think Comboli would fancy his chances against either one of these guys. 100%. 100%. And good leave there by Zverev on that backhand pass from Mensik. 5-all. It's a very good hold from Zverev. Played well in this game, other than that one drop shot. Very good hold. Oh, it's second ace, Miles? Yeah. My stats show me one ace. So it could be, my stats could be wrong. They've been wrong in the past. Do you think Comboli and Arnaldi will be a marathon 5-setter? Could be. It could be. Arnaldi is the marathon man. So let's see if he plays another long match. But I think, you know, a lot of people are underestimating Arnaldi. I think he's highly capable of winning that match. The Swiss call Mensik. Anyone know how to pronounce his name properly? They say Zverev too, which I believe is correct in German. Well, listen. Don't get me started on Zverev. Do not get me started on that, please. Look like an ace, and it's long though. 15-all. Big T serve from Mensik, second serve. Double fault Mensik, 15-30. In German, if you were to say Zverev in German, the correct pronunciation is Zverev. Zverev. C like Croatia, Zverev. That's how you say it in German. But if you say that, you are an absolute maniac. Do not say it like that. It's a Russian name, and it's Zverev. And there's no T in Z. It's Zverev. Like Zvereva. You know, the girl that lost to Steffi Graf in the Roland Garros final? If you listen to German news, like, you know, Tagesschau or Heute Journal, they say Zverev. And you want to throw your TV out of the window immediately when you hear that. That's a monstrous backhand from Zverev, 30-40. Hardest shot he's hit so far. And it's good to see him hit that on 30-all. That's big-time tennis right there from Zverev. Gets a short forehand from Mensik, and he absolutely demolishes the backhand. That's a Grand Slam champion type point right there. You know, taking the opportunity and being aggressive, trusting your shots. Second serve from Mensik. Let's see what Zverev does here. He gets a forehand. Drop shot Mensik, very poor. Open court for Mensik because Zverev puts the ball right into his racket, but he can't convert. And Zverev will be serving at 6-5. Okay, let's go back to to Mensik. I really can't speak on it, like, because of Czech name. I don't speak Czech. So it's confusing because you can go on the ATP website and you click on the little sound icon and the players say their name. WTA has that as well. And when I listen to Mensik, Jakob says like Jakob Mensik, Jakob Mensik, Jakob Mensik. That's what it sounds like to me. So I just try to say it like that. But on TV here in the US, everybody's saying Mensik, Mensik. I refuse to say that. That's not right. It can't be right in Czech, because Czech is Slavic language just like Croatian is, and it's not an E. Like it's like we have a word in Croatian. I'm with my mom. My mom, we always make fun with names, and butcher in Croatian is mesnik. Mesnik. And just flip a couple of letters around and it turns into Mensik. 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 I don't know. I really don't know about that one. I just try to say what Jakob says. But then there's an ATP clip where he says his name wrong. There's an ATP video on YouTube where Mensik says Mensik. Mensik. He says it. Himself says it wrong. Or at least I think it's wrong. So it's hard to say. Hard to know. I don't think it's an S. But anybody checking here can help us out. Teach us. It's a nice looking forehand right there from Zverev, 15 love. Very nice forehand from Zverev. Freely, hit hard. That's a free looking forehand right there from Zverev. Certainly, you know, getting a break finally can open your game up. You can trust your shots more. It's a big serve. Mensik dumps the return into the net. 30 love. Big serve from Zverev out wide. Another great forehand for a winner inside out. That's the best game from Zverev so far that he's played. You know, like I said, when you finally get the break, and that tension goes out of your body sometimes, and now you're like swinging freer, you know, trusting your shots a little bit more. But that backhand that he hit at 30 all in that game, the previous game, that was the shot of the match so far. That cross-court backhand winner at 30 all, that was the shot of the match right there. A beautiful point for Mensik right there. Gets Zverev on the run. Zverev with the squash shot. Mensik puts away the backhand. Big serve down the tee. Good return there from Mensik. Zverev with the forehand looper. In the half court, Mensik punishes it by ripping into the backhand corner from Zverev, 40-30. And there's the ace down the tee from Zverev. Zverev wins the first set. Okay, let's summarize this first set a little bit, analyze what we just saw. First and foremost, Mensik is far from his best. I don't think he played a good first set. He had a big opportunity. And I think it was at... let me try to look it up. Hold on. I'm going to tell you his exact game where he missed his opportunity to do something. It was... yeah, 4-3. 4-3 Mensik. He had 15-40 on the Zverev serve. And another break point. This here where he missed consecutive forehands. Remember? Some really like uncharacteristic forehands from him. Unforced errors. He had the set in his bag right there. 4-3, 15-40. Because up to that point, and especially in that game, Zverev was playing tight. He wasn't playing freely. The forehand was like looping and it was going around the service line. And that's why I said, like, if he was playing Sinner, Alcaraz, Djokovic, the set would be gone like this. 6-3, gone. So Zverev was very fortunate to get out of that game. And he capitalized on his fortune. And I think he slowly started to open up his game and started playing more aggressive. Was able to, be very clutch there in that 5-all game at 30-all and rip that back in crosscourt for a winner. Played another good point after that. Got a little fortunate on break point because he hit a very poor drop shot from Mensik. Hit the forehand right into his racket. But again, Mensik far from his best in this match. Even the fact that he did that backhand drop shot on break point down at 5-all, it's not a good sign of his mental state. And now Zverev, once he got that break up, this last game, probably the best game I've seen from Zverev right now. So I think this could be straight sets for Zverev right now, unless Mensik finds a way to get his game up and lift himself. I think this is straight sets for Zverev. The thing with Mensik, it could be that he's overwhelmed by the circumstance. Prior to the match starting, I thought that this is maybe not possible because he's been on tour for a while and has done big things like winning ATP 1000 in Miami. But look, this is the biggest stage that we have in tennis. It's Grand Slam semifinals. And especially Roland Garros and Wimbledon, I feel like those have the highest status. And maybe he's a little bit tight, could be, but I don't think so. Another possibility for Mensik could be that he's just simply spent. That match against Navone finally caught up with him because that was a heroic performance from Mensik. I mean, that to me was the best match of his career so far. And the fact that he persevered through that fifth set tiebreak. I don't know if you guys saw that one, but that was a crazy match. In the heat of Paris, Mensik's body was gone and he was able to come through that. And maybe he's not 100% physically there. Maybe the gas tank is on E. It's a possibility for sure. But let's see what's coming, right? We're going to see what's coming next. Can he raise his game? He will need to, or this is straight sets for Zverev. A very good backhand from Mensik right there. Comes in and puts the volley away. So if indeed he was tight, Mensik, sometimes when you finally lose a set, even if you lose it, it can clear the tightness and you can start playing freely. It's not always connected to winning or losing, the release of the tension. It could be also when you lose a set, all the tension goes away as well, and you might start playing better. So if it indeed was nerves, we could see a level increase right here from Mensik, but he gives him a double fault, and it's 15-all. Serve and volley from Mensik. He gives him that wide angle right here. He puts Zverev over here. And again, Zverev wasn't in the right position to be able to blast, but Mensik serve and volley is a great tactic. But again, here, down the line, would be a great option for Zverev. Down the line forehand return. But he needs to be in the right position, though, to be able to pull that off. Very short forehand from Zverev inside the service line. And he misses a backhand. 40-15. ATX Super Dave says Mensik should SMV often. You know what, Dave? Like, I'm so impressed with Mensik's volley skills and his overall feel to the net, and his movement forward is very explosive, very fast. I agree with you. I think Mensik should be a guy that's like dangerous at Wimbledon. You know, he certainly is capable of finishing points up at the net, and I agree with you. What would you recommend for an immediate tennis player? What should lessons and learn from it? Look for a local coach. What are you talking about? Would recommend for an immediate tennis player? In which regard? Recommend what? And there's the SMV for Mensik, but more of just a cleanup because the serve was so huge, barely came back. Cleans it up at the net. Holds one love. They're showing a recap of the first set. Hope they show that 4-3 game, but that was a crucial game right there. The 15-40 and the add out for Mensik. That game was huge. Achacha says Mensik should pump himself up a bit. He's not even fist pumping the games he wins. Yeah, maybe he is tight a little bit, or maybe the gas tank is empty. I don't know, but he's not at the top of his game. He's not at the top of his game. The big T serve from Zverev right there, 15 love. That's horrible advice, Super Dave. Get comfortable with the continental grip. If you're new to tennis, worry about topspin grips later. Bad advice, buddy. Immediately learn a forehand grip on day one. Kick serve from Zverev. Backhand to backhand exchange. Excellent rally from Zverev. That down the line backhand was so good. It's flat, deep, and then puts away the forehand down the line very deep as well. 30 love. Forehand way better now. You guys notice that? Like the forehand is like it's going deeper. It's shallower. It's not as loopy as it was in the beginning. He's straightening it out. ATP 101. Good morning, Nick. Kaboli's taking the whole thing. ATP. You know, it's not crazy to think that. It's not a crazy thought. It's for sure in the realm of possibilities. Another forehand winner from Zverev. Heavy cross-court forehand winner from Zverev. The forehand has woken up, or it has freed itself. That looked in. Zverev's going to check the mark. He went T. It looked very close. Umpire will call it out. Second serve. And Zverev went for the ace down the T on the second serve, which is something you can do at up 40 love. I mean, you can do it any time, I guess, but at 40 love, you know, it's okay to take that risk. 40-15. It's a monster serve from Zverev, another backhand drop shot. And the third backhand drop shot from Zverev. down the line winner that I counted so far. His drop shot is working really well today. The backhand drop shot. That's a shot that has improved tremendously for Zverev. Anna says, what should Mensik do, Nick? It's so hard to say. I don't know. First and foremost, somebody brought up like he's not pumping himself up. Get the energy going, like move around, pump himself up, wake up his body, just get something going. He's not himself here. He's not himself. Body language, not good. Facial expressions, not good. Even at that game where he had chances, that 4-3 game, look at his face, like, it was, I don't know. He's just not himself today. Love 15. Pilapew says Mensik is a step slow. Nawaf says Mensik is tired. Yeah, it could be. It could be. Like I said, that's a possibility for sure. He's just spent. But you see him walking around right there, his face, like, don't know. It's just not, he's not looking like he's going to win this match. 15 all. But tennis is so crazy, guys. This could all change. In the blink of an eye, it could change. It has the potential to change. Where all of a sudden, he could get the boost of energy and recover. But right now, it's not looking like it. He does a serve and volley, but he doesn't transition well on that volley. Hits it from around the service line, low. Very difficult volley. He misses it, 15-30. Second serve. Slice backhand from Zverev. Mensik takes it, goes down the line, and a forehand pass from Zverev, 15-40. The forehand is looking a lot better for Zverev in the second set. Actually, once he broke, and even in that 6-5 game in the first, he's looking better. Look at him ripping it. And according to my app, Zverev has already broken. Yeah, Mensik's drop shots today have not worked. Either they've been, too deep, too close to the service line. He hasn't used them at the right time. It's just the feel is off a little bit today for Mensik. And the most alarming drop shot was the one break point down at 6-5. He hit a poor backhand drop shot. Maybe a bailout shot. Maybe he didn't want to be in the rally. So it's not looking good for Mensik right here, guys. It's not looking good. Zverev up a break in a second. Eurosport and French telly has RG for free. Perhaps not in the US though. Yeah, no, not Vilg, no. It's usually Tennis Channel. I mean, I guess you could call ESPN free. It's a cable service that most people have. And they will show US Open, Australian Open, and Wimbledon. So I guess that's on TV, so to speak, on cable TV. I guess this too is on TNT. So I guess, is it on? Yeah, I guess this is on cable TV as well, for free, I guess. But generally speaking, like most tournaments, they're not on TV. It's on Tennis Channel, which is also a cable thing. And speaking of which, like I'm trying to get my mom set up with a system down there in Croatia where she can watch this. Because she has satellite down there, and I guess she can't find it anywhere. Big serve from Zverev down the tee, and again ripping forehands. 15 love. Super Dave says, Nick, do you agree that the continental grip is used for serve, overheads, back, forehand slides, backhand slides, forehand volley, backhand volley, forehand drop shot? Yeah, anything other than the forehand. If you have a two-handed backhand, you're going to use a continental grip. Every shot in tennis, except the forehand. Unless you have a one-handed backhand, then no. But if you have a two-handed backhand, every shot that you're going to hit is going to be hit with a continental grip. But the forehand, even as a beginner, check out my beginner lessons. I have many of them. Right on day one, I have players rally with me on day one, 10 times back and forth. I've done it with many different students. Beautiful point there from Zverev. Beautiful point. Last 15 points, 11 for Zverev. It's just a little bit of a collapse from Mensik right here, 30 love. In regards to the forehand, I want to build the right muscle memory from day one, and I have my players, start from the contact, and it's very important to start with the forehand grip. Now, it's not important which forehand grip it is. It could be Eastern, could be semi, or somewhere in between, but that the hand is a little bit more underneath the racket, which makes that vertical swing path a little bit easier on day one. And a continental grip, don't want to build that muscle memory, the wrong muscle memory. And it's very difficult to hit a forehand properly with a continental grip. Not impossible, but that's a bad bounce right there. The slice from Mensik, it didn't bounce up at all. 40-15. That's a good slice, though. That's a really good slice from Mensik. That thing did not bounce at all. So how to hit a slice backhand? Just take a look at that slice from Mensik. That's a perfect slice that he hit. Kick from Zverev. There's a looper forehand again from Zverev on the service line, but this time Mensik does what he should have done in that 4-3 game, and he absolutely destroys his forehand into the corner. That he didn't do that in the first set. He had chances. 40-30. Second serve again from Zverev. 40 love to 40-30 on a second serve. Double fault. 40 love to 40 all now. See if Zverev can erase this with a big serve right here. He does. Another game point. Big wide serve. Another flat one. It's one that goes more through. This one right here. The returner is here that goes more through like this. That particular serve. Add in. At Forever 25, Nick, where's your co-host? Well, he's really mad because I put the board here today. He's very, very mad. He's very upset. And double ace from Zverev. Excuse me. Double ace from Zverev. 40 love, and then, a lot of missed serves, gets tricky. Get the 40 all, 40 love to 40 all, that's tricky. Yeah, it's also kind of frustrating as a server, but then he pulls out two big serves back to back and wins the game anyway, holds. So That was an important game from Zverev. Guys, real quick, I have a little bit of a battery issue here. I'll be right back, okay? All right, hold on. Ah, for God's sake. Okay, I've got a little bit of a battery issue here, guys. We're going to have to take another break here in a second. 40 love on Mensik is a good hold. And Simone is back. That's a nice hold there from Mensik. Okay, guys. Simone, where are you going? Simone, where are you going? Okay, he's back, guys. He's back despite the board. Simone is back despite the board. All right, that's a good news. Hold on. Let me try to solve this problem real quick here. Just 1 second, guys. 1 sec. Okay, we should be good. We should be good. We should be good, guys. All right, so let's see if Mensik can play a little bit better here. You know, like I said, it's not in a best of 5 match. The one advantage is that you have more time to find your game when you're not at your best. So it's not over yet. That was a good hold right there from Mensik. Certainly, we want to see these guys find their best tennis at the most important stages. We don't want to see, you know, straight set matches where one guy is far from his best, right? So let's see if we get a little bit better tennis for the remainder of this one. So far, you know, both guys were far away from their best in the first set, but then Zverev started playing a lot better. And right now, Zverev is just a better man. You know, he's serving well. Here's Mensik underneath this towel on the changeover. Could be a physical thing to it, Mensik. We want to give him credit for coming through some really tough matches. So, you know, it could be many different things. But certainly the physical part was brutal early in the tournament. Maybe it's just all accumulated to this. No, Simon, not the draw. Come on, man. Stop it. Please. Not the draw. That drives me crazy. Simone, please. I had to put the draw away. I don't even know why I have it. I like to look at the draw to see how wrong I was. I like to keep reminding myself. 30 love. Let's check the serve percentage from Zverev. That's always interesting. First set was, yeah, it's interesting numbers here. That's a beautiful slice approach shot from Zverev right there. 40 love. First set, 57% for Mensik in the first set on the first serve, and Zverev was 76. Second set, both at 67. Overall, Zverev 69, Mensik 54. I guess it's not updated. How can it be 54? Oh, never mind. I don't know. I'm telling you, these stats sometimes are off a little bit, so I haven't been using them that much lately. They're not 100% accurate, but I do think Mensik is not serving anywhere near his best. And Zverev, for sure, after those couple of service games very early, Zverev has been serving well. With the exception of that 4-3 game. 2026 head-to-head records for Zverev versus Sinner and Alcaraz, 0-5. And it's actually 0-4 against Sinner. There was only one match against Alcaraz. And he's beaten all these other guys that are left in the tournament, so Zverev is the huge favorite to win this thing. You know, and I've said that in the round of 16. Or pretty much after Djokovic lost to Fonseca. He was it was then, at that moment in time when Djokovic was out, he was the most accomplished player left in the draw by far. And to me, I think it was clear that he was the favorite, you know. That's a nice two-handed backhand pass from Zverev on the run. And love 30, here's a chance for a double break for Zverev. I mean, not the chance yet, but it's a big window to get a double break. Love 30. It's a one-handed pass there from Zverev. Simon going to town on a box over there in the corner. I will have to feed him. I think he's hungry. I'm going to have to take a little time out, guys, in a second here. He's driving me crazy. He's destroying a box over there. Cannot focus on the match. I don't know if you can hear it. He's absolutely going to town on a Gerolsteiner carton. And there's a backhand return winner from Zverev off a kick, serve, and volley from Mensik. Double break point, 15-40. That wasn't a kick. My apologies, guys. That was not a kick serve. That was a flat serve. There's a chance to break this match wide open for Zverev right here. And Mensik coming to the net a lot, but not in a good way. I mean, even though he wins this point, it feels like he's coming to the net to keep these points short, it seems like. It's almost like a bailout. That's what it seems like to me. Not perceiving these net attacks as aggressive tennis in a positive way. (30-40). Second serve, big opportunity here for Zverev. And it's a double fault for Mensik. That's a poor service game right there. Very concerning for Mensik. Like we said, far from his best. Zverev up 7-5, 5-2, 2 breaks. Guys, I need to take care of Simone. He's driving me crazy. I got to feed him real quick. We'll be right back, okay? All right, guys, I'm back. Apologize for the delay. Zverev ended up serving that set out comfortably. Pretty good hold, though, from Mensik in the first game of the third. Let's see if Mensik can keep this set tight, take care of his service games, potentially make some inroads on the Zverev service games, but Zverev is now at the top of his game, playing well. I'm seeing similarities to the Hodar match. I'm seeing similarities to the De Jong match. They're very similar, this one so far, to those. Zverev, tentative, maybe a little bit tight in the first set, but then he opens up. So in the De Jong match, I know exactly the point where he opened up. It was down love 3 in the first set tiebreak, actually. Then he won a point and screamed, pumped himself up. And he started playing really well after that. Against Hodar was that game at 5-3 with Hodar serving for the set, where Zverev broke to love. After that, different player. And in this match, it was that hold at 4-3, I think. When he got out of that, you know, that he opened up a little bit. Then ultimately, when he finally broke at 5-all with that backhand at 30-all, completely transformed player after that. So the thing is that with this field, you know, Zverev can afford to play a first set like that, you know? And, you know, that's probably unfair to bring this up, but I just want to point out that that's against Sinner, Alcaraz, Djokovic. No, you pay the price for that poor first set, because you lose the first set. You don't come out winning it. You just don't. But he did. In these 3 consecutive matches, he won the first set that he should have lost, and then he was cruising after that. So 40-15, good service game so far here. Big serving. And a backhand miss from Mensik. We're 1-all. Please, no betting stuff in here. I cannot stand betting. No betting talk. My moderator is instructed for betting talk to be put in a timeout. Mensik coming in a tremendous amount. He did come in some in the first set, but second set and third set, he's coming in a lot. And like I said, I'm not perceiving this as a positive thing. A tennis student. Zverev's hair is getting nervous. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. For you guys that don't know that, Zverev is, I don't know if it's true, I heard that Zverev is letting his hair grow until he wins a Grand Slam. So if he gets a haircut after he wins this, if he wins this, then the rumor was true. 15-all, second serve from Mensik. Let's see if Zverev applies the pressure here. There's a down the line return that I was talking about from Zverev. And a backhand miss from Mensik there. Looks like the wind picked up a little bit too. Pew Pew, it's tentative coming in, like you said, Nick. Yeah, it's definitely like it's coming in. I've done that before in matches. Like you come in because you're nervous or you don't want to be in a baseline rally, or it's just not a positive aggression. It's actually very negative, and it's actually quite defensive. Even though you come to the net, it's defensive. This drop shot on the first ball in the rally from Mensik is very, very alarming sounds right now. He's very fortunate Zverev missed that ball. Forehand drop shot on the first ball in the rally. It wasn't a good drop shot too. And the physio is there. Maybe Mensik is feeling something. You know, it's the body is not in the best state here. It's caught up to him all these hours on the court, potentially. He's So rolling around his head, maybe his neck hurts. I don't know what it is, but it's a big serve there, though. 40-30. Forever 25 says his neck is bothering him. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's a big forehand there from Mensik. Nice to see him coming out of the service game and could potentially make something out of this match and keep this third set tight. That's a good looking forehand right there. Unloads. It's positive reaction afterwards. Like I said before, that's the advantage of best of 5 is you have more time to recover, more time to solve physical issues if they can be solved. A lot of times nothing can be done, but sometimes there's certain things that can be done. Feeling a pain somewhere, you take a pain medication, it kicks in 20-30 minutes later, and all of a sudden you're feeling better, running better, moving better. So best of 5 is just a lot more possibilities to come back. So let's see if like I said, if Mensik can make something out of this one. Commentators are talking about his neck. Thank you, True Tennis Vibe. Yeah, I saw him going like this, so I assume it was something going on with his neck. That's tough. The neck in tennis, that's so tough. It's so tough, guys. You know why? Because, when you load your strokes, whether it's forehand or backhand, your neck has to go like this. And actually, speaking of which, 2 days ago, I slept wrong. I was off the pillow, woke up off the pillow, and I couldn't move my head at all. And right now, I can't move my head to this side. This is about as far as I go. So if I was playing tennis right now, it would be very uncomfortable. I'm not playing right now because of my calf injury, but so you have to load your body, and you have to completely turn your head to be able to track the ball. And you got to do that on both sides. So, yeah, he's got neck pain. Oh, wow, 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 wow. It's kind of a rare thing to see, too. You don't see that too often, neck issues. This kid is good. I think not ready, but he will get his chance. Yeah, Mensik is definitely the future. He's the future of the game. He's going to be a contender to do big things in the game of tennis. And when he gets a good day, like he did against Fonseca, on a day like that, where he's serving huge, he's feeling his ground strokes, his feel game is on, he's volleying well. That type of style can be dangerous even for Sinner and Alcaraz. He's proven that. He has proven that. He's taken out Djokovic in a final of ATP 1000, which was insane. I don't care that Djokovic was 38 at the time. It's still, it's a final. And Djokovic had blazed through the draw in that Miami tournament. He beat Musetti 2-2, I remember, in that tournament. So he did that, and then he took out Sinner in Doha. So Mensik is probably the most dangerous guy right now for Sinner and Alcaraz. He's the most dangerous guy right now. I'll put him above everyone else as the guy that can danger those guys. Now, can he do it consecutively in a slam? Can he do it in a slam? I have my doubts, of course. And I didn't think that he was going to win this match. I had Zverev coming through this one. So it doesn't mean that he's going to start winning Grand Slams, but I'm just saying he could potentially down the road maybe, but he's still dangerous on any given day if he catches a day like that. It's just that I don't think this match is a good example because he might be physically compromised. But he even alluded to that in the post-match press conference after the Fonseca match. Early in that third, he lost his focus. Now, he did lose his focus against Fonseca because he felt a pain in his back. But generally, the loss of focus and the loss of energy, intensity in matches is what hurts him. And after that Miami title, I went through the results in my last live, through his results. He lost to a lot of guys that he shouldn't be losing to. So that's the next step for Mensik, to work on the focus, to work on consistency. And once he figures that out, watch out. This guy is an incredible player. Here's Koboli with the soccer skills. He could have been playing for AS Roma. This guy was good at football, and according to some of my Italian friends. What an athlete. By the way, I noticed that Koboli always warms up with headphones. I've seen this. You know, it's so funny. Call me old school, call me like, I don't know, a classical coach, but I am not a big fan of music during tennis. And in fact, when I play college tennis, it was a big thing in D1 to have music blasting through the speakers during warm-up or during practice. And we never did this where I played. And then when we would go play away, other teams would be blasting music in the warm-ups. And I hated that. I hate music during tennis. I don't like it. I don't like it. I need to be able to hear the ball. I need to peace and quiet. Very distracting to me. Time since last point, 5:46. Tricky too for Zverev because, you know, Mensik held and Zverev is just sitting there standing around. You got to keep himself warm, keep himself loose. ATX Super Daves says, I want to see some Jack Draper already. I'm a big fan. Hopefully on grass. Yeah, I think he's going to be playing on grass. I'm a big believer in Jack Draper. You know, we don't talk about him enough because he's injured so often, but I put him in the same category as Mensik. Same category of player. Maybe not yet proven to be able to take out Sinner or Alcaraz. Not quite that at that level, but certainly an incredible player. ATP 1000 winner already. Another ATP 1000 final in Madrid. He won Indian Wells against Rune in the final in 2025. If I remember correctly. In that same year, he made the final of Madrid. And then it's like this year, one of the best matches that I've seen all year. I'll probably put in my top 10. I always do a top 10 matches of the year video at the end of the year. I'll probably put the Draper Djokovic Indian Wells match in there. That match was incredible. That was an incredible match. Jack played so well. And then he lost to Medvedev. And I don't know if he injured himself in that match, but he was hurt after that. You know, so just a lot of injuries. Very frustrating. He beat Carlos at Indian Wells. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did in the semifinals. All right, Zverev serving. We're back. Zverev hitting the forehand way deeper than he was in the first set. But there he dumps it inside the service line again. Mensik doesn't take advantage of it. Another forehand around the service line. Another one. That's 2 in a row. And Mensik goes for it, but misses down the line. 15 love. Neck massage will turn this match around. It could. It certainly could do that. It's a nice return from Mensik, but good pickup from Zverev there, and a nice forehand down the line. Very aggressive drop shot, cross court this time. And wide open court. Mensik throws the racket. And, you know, since, you know, Mensik threw the racket in an attempt to play the ball back, I did it on Instagram this one year, just as a reel with my buddy Milan. We're trying to make this scenario where I came to the net and he passed me and I throw the racket and play the ball in. It took forever. It took forever for the racket to make contact and get the ball over the net, but eventually we did it. And then I was asking, like, is this a legal shot or not? And it's obviously illegal. Yapperman asked, do you think Holger would find his level again after a horrific injury? Well, Holger was supposed to come back for Hamburg on clay. And then I read that he realized he wasn't ready yet. And Achilles is like one of these injuries that's one of the worst. And he ruptured his Achilles in Stockholm. It's a beautiful backhand from Zverev down the line. 40 love. So, you know, I'm not an expert with that particular injury, and I just wish and hope that he's going to be back at 100%. But I can tell you that that's the injury that I'm scared of a lot, because it requires surgery and because it requires like so much time off. I think Rune is at the very top of the game, especially on clay. He's an incredible player. When these guys were coming up, I initially thought that he was going to be part of the next big three. I even made a thumbnail like with Alcaraz, Sinner, and Rune on the thumbnail. This is back in like 2022 2022, I think. And I thought next big three question mark, will this be the next big three? And I thought this was going to be those three guys. But Rune is behind them, you know. It's not only due to injuries, but he certainly has the potential to play up there with those guys. Even though Alcaraz was injured in the Barcelona final last year. If you remember, Rune beat Alcaraz in the Barcelona final last year. And he played exceptional tennis there. He played so good in that match. And yes, Alcaraz was hurt a little bit. So that surely was a factor. But still, Rune on clay, so good. And of course on other surfaces too. So I'm wishing that he comes back. Healthy, 100%, able to play at his top level. Zverev serves down the tee. They're going to check the mark. Umpire going to come down and check it. Umpire is looking very closely and calls it out. Wow. Umpire calls it out. Zverev is arguing with the umpire. Wow, look at the Hawkeye. Even Hawkeye doesn't give us a definitive answer. It looked so close, that ball. We're talking about a fraction of a millimeter. Second serve. Who do you think will win first Grand Slam? Mensik, Fonseca, or Prismic? How about none? Don't see it right now. I'll be honest with you. I don't see it. Because there's other guys. I mean, there's Zverev still. I mean, that's the level below Alcaraz and Sinner. And then Djokovic is still there too. Like, so that, I just don't see it right now. I mean, this was an opportunity right here. If there's going to be an opportunity to do that, to get a slam with the absence of Sinner and Alcaraz, this was right here, and it looks like Zverev is going to come through. We'll have to see. It's too early to say that, but so I'm not even thinking about that. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But out of those guys, who's the most ready? I mean, we'll look at the results. Prismic is very far away, very far away. Fonseca improved a lot. I think he proved a lot of things in this tournament, but I would say Mensik is the guy that's the closest right now to even think about something like that. And it's nice to see him actually still in this third set. 2-all 30 love. It could be interesting if that neck starts feeling better. It's not over yet. This match's not over yet. We're on serve in the third, so maybe Mensik can do something here. That's a deep ball right there from Mensik. Could have hit, bounce right on the line. 40 love. Old Mixon asks, who's likely to be in the Wimbledon final? With Sinner, Carlos isn't playing. Yeah, Carlos not playing Wimbledon. Hopefully Carlos will be back for Canada Masters. which I think this year will be in Montreal for the men. And Zverev misses the forehand. 3-2, love hold. My scoreboard has the wrong player. What do you mean on the serve? Okay, back to the question with Wimbledon. Yeah, Alcaraz is not going to play Wimbledon. Who do I think will be in the final? We have to wait until the draw comes out. We have to wait. I don't know yet. We're going to be tracking those tournaments prior, and we're going to make our decisions based upon what happens there and also the draw, of course. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to do another prediction video. I did so well in my predictions this year. It's like the worst. I mean, if I ever was going to quit doing prediction videos, it would be after this. But I'm not. I still think it's fun. I think it's exciting. And sometimes it's fun to be wrong too, you know. I did not even know who Kowalinska is prior to the tournament. Honest admission here. I've never seen her play. I picked her to lose to Zheng in the first round. I looked at her results prior. I mean, I checked the results, you know, but I make selections and it didn't look like anything special. And I thought Zheng was going to come through that one. Now I know more, you know. On the men's side, I mean, nobody would have predicted what's been happening. Oh, it says Mensik is serving. Okay, we'll take care of that, guys. We'll take care of that. We'll update the scoreboard real quick. Hold on. I want to share something with you guys. I watched a match yesterday. I had so much fun watching a match. I watched McEnroe Tsonga against Santoro and Wilander. I had a blast watching that thing. Wilander hits such a clean ball still. He was hitting the ball so clean, Wilander. And of course, Mac, you know, still got the hands at the net, you know. Still that, I mean, just that service motion alone is so fun to watch. And Tsonga, I feel like Tsonga still can win matches. Like he's so, what an athlete he is. What a great player he was. And Santoro, I mean, it's like a magician on the court. That was fun to watch, that Legends doubles. And prior to that, I watched a women's one with Hingis and Ivanovic, and it's fun to watch Legends sometimes. And I don't mean it's fun to watch Legends. I mean, it is, but there's a Legends tournament during Grand Slams at the Roland Garros and Wimbledon. Let's refocus here. Love 15, another forehand error from Zverev. The forehand was bad in the first set, then it got good. And now showing signs of shakiness again. He missed quite a few forehands in the last service game of Mensik and now starts this game off with a forehand mistake, Love 15. But a monster serve to even things out. 15 all. Why do you think Tsonga never won a Grand Slam? He had a couple of chances, but back in those days, you know, there were so many good players that had to go through, you know, someone like Nalbandian too, you know. I would have equated him with Tsonga. Or even someone like Davydenko. There were so many great players back then. Berdych, you know. You had to get through the big three plus Murray. Those four guys were in the way of the Grand Slam. It was just impossible in those days to beat all these guys consecutively, you know. Another forehand miss from Zverev, 30 all. The forehand showing signs of problems. This match could get very interesting if Mensik gets the break right here. Forehand unforced errors in third set, 6 for Zverev. Forehand showing signs of problems in the third set again. Second set was good. First set was bad. Drop shot from Mensik. Zverev runs it down. And a beautiful volley cross-court from Mensik. Wow. Okay, Mensik with positive body language in this set, and there was a positive drop shot there. You know, remember this, guys? We talk about this here. You know, drop shotting in this area is good. So he was somewhere around here, I think, on that forehand drop shot. In a good position. Hit it well and takes care of a very tricky volley there, but Mensik has great hands on the volley. Break point. Another drop shot from Mensik. Forehand drop shot, this time for a winner. Wow. And again, he was in this area right here for the drop shot and executes it perfectly. 4-2 break for Mensik. Stepped up his game big time. And you know, also when you're a Mensik and you see like Zverev giving you unforced errors with the forehand out of the blue, you know, it should, like, you right away you feel the opportunity. You know, you're like, okay, you know, this guy is not playing. He's like not playing well right now. I can get this set. You know, Zverev took the foot off the gas in this third set, and it's going to cost him dearly potentially. 15-love. Nick, do you think court Philippe Chatrier should be renamed the Rafael Nadal court? No. And speaking of Rafael Nadal, I did start watching that. I'll talk about it in the changeover. But this court, you just stick with the traditions. You know, it's Philippe Chatrier. It's been like that forever. And Nadal has a plaque there on the right side of the court. If you look where the ball kids are, in between the ball kids' knee pads there, that little thing that the ball kids are kneeling on, in between that there's a plaque of Nadal, and he also has a statue at the facility. So I think they did a lot for Rafa. They don't need to name the court after him. There's a court named after him in Barcelona, Pista Rafa Nadal. There, you know. Forehand drop shot from Mensik this time. And, you know, if you take a look at the location, like he was more like here, and it's not a good there. It's not a good position to be in to hit a dropper, even though he was inside the baseline, you know. (30-15). Served and volleyed on that serve. Nick, have you been to Roland Garros? Yes, I have. Another forehand mistake from Zverev. Negative body language from Zverev. 40-15. What happens if Alcaraz wins 15 Roland Garros? They will take Rafa's statue away and make one for Alcaraz? And a beautiful volley there from Mensik. Zverev runs it down, overhits the lob, 5-2. This thing has flipped. Looks like might be going 4, guys. Should I make a Alcaraz statue if he wins 15? As somebody, you know, it's funny you bring that up. On Instagram, somebody put the years that Alcaraz would need to, I think it was maybe Sinner or Alcaraz, I don't know. The years that they would have to win consecutive Roland Garros titles to just match Nadal. And you guys can do the math, but I think it was like 2036. Think about that, 2036. And that seems like wrong math. He's already got How many does he have? He has 2 of them, right? So just to even him, yeah, 2038, I think. But you guys do the math. But just think about that. Like so many consecutive years he would need to win. That's scary even to think about, those so many years ahead. But it won't happen, guys. It'll never happen again. What Rafa did, and yeah, speaking of Rafa, I've been watching the documentary. I'm on episode 2 now, and I'm starting to get through it. I had a hard time watching it just because it's those early years. I was so hooked on that rivalry that I was hooked on it the whole time, but that especially early on, I don't know, it was tough to watch, but I'm getting through it. It's a phenomenal documentary. It's not that it's bad, but I'm not be able to get through it emotionally. It's just bringing so many memories back. And but yeah, it'll never happen again, what he did. But Alcaraz, when he's back at 100%, he'll make this tournament so much more interesting. And if we have Sinner, not that it wasn't interesting, but something that we definitely will discuss once this is wrapped up. We will discuss this whole clay court season and potentially what can happen next year. The beautiful forehand right there from Zverev. Nice to see him hit a forehand winner. This could have an effect right here, this game, early in the 4th. That's a nice serve right there out wide, 40 love. Back to Alcaraz. We want to see him on tour. We need Alcaraz, we need Sinner, we need everybody up there. We need Rune, we need Draper. All these top guys all there. It just makes it so much better, you know? But again, with everybody out, these guys have stepped in and delivered a phenomenal tournament so far. It's been very, very entertaining. So many great matches. Musetti too, yes, Sebastian. I forgot about him. Phenomenal clay court player. And last year, every tournament he played on clay was at least semifinal. Two forehand winners in this game from Zverev. A way better game. He had a dip. He had a dip in level in that 3rd set. The forehand started. Somebody actually mentioned it in the chat when they were still on serve. I think it might have been Dave. Zverev was missing forehands even when they were on serve, and then ended up dropping serve after that. So for sure the level dropped, started making forehand errors. And Mensik with that wide serve again. Let's look at the board here. So again, when he pulls him here, right? Mensik pulls him here. Zverev is over here. And I have not seen him go here that much, off the slice. Zverev was going here a lot. And this is the more difficult shot, believe it or not, because this here is not down the line anymore. It's still diagonal, you see? It's cross court. So this is not that low percentage of a shot. And Zverev just hasn't gone there that much. Of course, you have to be able to be there in time and time the ball right. It's not so easy when you have Mensik serving over 200 there. And again, he goes right in the middle and Mensik has the easy volley there. It's the same scenario again. Slice serve. And he has 40 love. 3 set points. I didn't think this was going to happen. Remember, Mensik had an injury timeout. I thought this match was over, but nice to see Mensik recover and find some good tennis here. And again, this is far from over, this match. This could get very complicated now. Beautiful backhand down the line. From Mensik, Zverev ripping the forehand cross court, backhand cross court, Zverev. These guys are blasting the ball in this rally. Drop shot from Mensik again, but this time it hits an absolutely perfect drop shot for a winner. And Mensik is back. We're going 4. Nice to see this from Mensik, but you know, Zverev let this happen. I would say he dipped his level a little bit, and then it goes both ways. You know, when Mensik feels that, he's like, okay, took the opportunity, he raised this level, recovered physically, he wasn't doing well, body language way better now, and that's how it goes sometimes. Now we're going 4. Nick, which do you think is more possible? Player winning more than 14 French Open, or player winning calendar Golden Slam? Like you mean with the Olympics? That's never happened on the men's tour, I don't think, right? Only Steffi Graf won the Golden Slam. That's like all 4 Grand Slams in the same year plus Olympics. I think, to be really honest with you, I think 14 French Open is more difficult. Just because, like most people, even playing in 14 French Opens is going to be difficult. Just playing 14 of them. And not even talk about winning them. There's such an insane number. Like, I don't think it's possible to do that, to be honest with you. For anyone. And if you watch the documentary, which I highly recommend, you realize what a maniac Rafa was, you know? Like, he played through all this pain and all these injuries with the disregard for his health. He was an incredible athlete, that guy. You know, aside from all the qualities that he had on the court, just that sheer like will to play tennis, just that alone. Despite his limitations with his body, because his foot was so bad, I didn't even realize how bad it was. It turns out my student Shamir had the exact same injury as Nadal. Exact same injury. Is that there was a navicular bone or whatever it is. And Shamir has the same thing. Shamir was out for a year and a half because of that. And just like Nadal, he solved it with insoles. But Nadal's case was even worse because he had the Müller-Weiss syndrome in there. So it's like his was different from my buddy Shamir's, because Nadal's, there was something else that was bad. And watch the documentary and you can find out what it was. But it basically, if he would have had surgery on it, could have been a career ender. And just that injury in itself, it didn't solve anything. The insole allowed him to play, but he had pain that did not take the pain away. So think about this. From the beginning of his career, the guy played with foot pain. It's unbelievable. And despite all this, he won 14 Roland Garros tournaments. It's incredible. 4th set, Zverev serving first. And a big serve directed right in the middle between the center and the tee. Mensik dumps the back and returns to the net, 15-love. Another big serve from Zverev to the backhand. Another backhand return, this time it goes long, 30-love. Ace Zverev out wide, 40-love. What happened in the third? I had something to do and I got back, it was 5-3. Well, quick wrap-up of the third. It looked like the match was over early in the third. Mensik had neck issues. He had to go off the court with the physio. I think it was a 2-1, if I remember correctly. And he came back playing better, but at the same time, Zverev was starting to miss some forehands. And Mensik was able to get the break, and then towards the middle of that second set, the drop shot started clicking with Mensik. He was hitting incredible drop shots, serving well. He just played well. And Zverev's level dipped a little bit. That's a nice hold from Zverev. 1-love. First serve percentage from Mensik in the third set, 42%. Yeah, I mean, look, he wasn't playing well early in that third. It looked like the match was over. So this is, I mean, of course, Mensik played well, but Zverev could have put more energy, more intensity into the early games and put this away, this third set. Got up with a big lead. He just was not there early in the third. Zverev was letting him hang around with a neck problem. And yeah, now we're in the fourth set. Big serve from Mensik. Shank return error. Zverev 15-all. The thing is off cam again. There you go. Nice one. I'm going to slide over here a little bit. All right. Serve checks the mark. It's wide. Second serve. And 30-15. Nice point there from Mensik. Tricky overhead on that one. Couple of overheads in a row. 30-15. Okay, thank you for letting me know with the scoreboard. We got a problem with the server. We'll take care of it. We'll take care of that real quick. $30-all. Either break point or game point. This is a big opportunity for Zverev right here to do something. But he shanks a forehand return, and it's 40-30. Serve and volley from Mensik at the whole court open, but frames the volley. It looked like he tried to put angle on that volley and tried to go like short cross court, but drops his racket too suddenly there and catches the top part of his frame, and we're deuce. Mensik again with that wide serve. Zverev loops the forehand, and Mensik just doesn't do enough with his forehand. Doesn't hit it aggressively enough. Zverev hits a good ball to the backhand, draws the error, and break point Zverev. Okay, let first serve again. Second serve. It's a huge opportunity right here for Zverev. Good return from Zverev, and a backhand down the line. Miss from Mensik. Zverev pumps the fist, and he's got the break in the third. That return, that was not a good return, by the way. I mean, it's one of those where it's bad in a good way. Like he didn't hit it clean. It landed inside the service line, but it was so wide, a very uncomfortable ball. And Mensik ends up missing the backhand. He probably shouldn't have gone down the line on that one because, again, that ball was uncomfortable. But here we are, 2-love. Zverev up a break. Big serve from Zverev down the tee, 15-love. He's got the Roland Garros final right on his racket right here. Just needs to hold serve for the rest of this match. Backhand drop shot from Zverev into the net, 15-all. Not a big fan of like the first ball in the rally when it's like neutral like that to do a drop shot. It just rarely works out. It's a strange shot selection there from Zverev. Big wide serve, forehand, return from Mensik, and a short forehand from Zverev, and then a forehand into the net from Zverev. Poor couple of points in a row, and now it's 15-30. Zverev is going to have to get his energy up right here. Find his best tennis in this game. Extend the lead. There's a big serve right there. 30-all. Let's see where he goes with this serve on 30-all. He most likely will go wide. That's where we've been going a lot, but maybe a mix-up down the tee. It's not a bad idea. It's a lower percentage target, but he does do that. But it is, what is it, let or is long? It's long, okay. Second serve. Zverev attacks with his backhand. It's fortunate that first backhand went in. That was very long. Might have hit the line. Mensik gives him a short forehand, and Zverev with a pretty good backhand approach shot produces the two-handed backhand passing shot net error from Mensik, 40-30. Did Zverev's first serve percentage drop? Let's check. I got it right here. Hold on. And my app is so wrong. It says 100% first serve percentage. This app is not correct. He didn't. I just saw him miss a first serve, so that's not correct. But I'm going to stop referring to this app when it comes to serve percentages. ATX Super Dave, thank you for keeping the live stream going on your dog walk. I appreciate you. Second serve from Zverev and a return error from Mensik. Oh, yeah. Two backhand errors in this game, consecutive backhand errors from Mensik. I feel that. Uh-oh. Umpire says it's good. Zverev is going to blow up in a second. And I guess they're going to replay the point. Where's the Hawkeye? Come on, let us see the Hawkeye. And it's... They don't zoom in on the Hawkeye. Zoom in on it. There you go. That's so close. That's close. It's too close to the machine. Replaying the point. 40-30. 2-love Zverev. Up 2-1. A good return from Mensik, and he dumps the backhand into the net. Look, Zverev gave him a window here. He had played a couple of poor points consecutively, but that big serve at 15-30 was huge for Zverev. Three love. Anyone remember Super Saturday at the US Open? 2 men's semis and the women's final, all in one ticket. I love that. That was my favorite thing ever, the Super Saturday. And you know, unfortunately, they got rid of that. Look, fortunately for the players, because you don't want to see somebody get a disadvantage in the final. Let's say somebody plays the second match on Super Saturday and it goes 5 hours, 6 hours, and they have to come back and play the next day. The guy that finished the first match was going to have an advantage and be more recovered. So from that standpoint, it's better they got rid of it. But as a fan, as a tennis fan, for the experience, that's one heck of a tennis day, you know? You get 2 men's semis and a women's final in between. Let's see if Zverev will put a lot of pressure in this game and try to get a insurance break right here and finish Mensik off. Certainly that, you know, increase in energy level from Mensik towards in the second half of that second set, it seems gone now. It looks like that last game was not very good for Mensik, the last couple of games. So you don't get the feeling that Mensik is going to extend this one. It looks, to me, it feels like this match is done, but it's a weird match. I wouldn't say it's a high quality match by any means. It's just Mensik is not, even though he won that third set with the help of Zverev a little bit, I feel that Mensik is far away from his best. Possibly, you know, it's a physical thing with his neck, and maybe he's tired overall, or could be overwhelmed by the situation. Who knows? But I feel that Mensik can play a lot better than he's playing right now. Was that in? Yeah, miss it, return winner from Zverev. 15-30. Yeah, it's a shank, return winner from Zverev. Yeah, fatigue is a factor for Mensik. He was cramping in the Fonseca post-match interview. Yeah, I mean, for sure. He went all out in this tournament, went beyond his limits. So it would make a lot of sense that he's spent. It would make a lot of sense. Old Mixon says, arguably Mensik shouldn't be fatigued. Listen, you can make a lot of arguments in a lot of different directions. I mean, did they have 2 days off? Yeah, I think it was 2 days off. So, you know, it's time to recover, but maybe it's a cumulative effect, just a lot of tennis, just, you know, because on those days off, you still, you know, you might not hit balls, but you still have to do stuff. You can't just be laying on a couch all day. That's not part of recovery, you know, so it's, there's a mental fatigue too that people don't talk about enough, you know. It's nothing to do with physical, it's mental. That's nice tennis from Zverev right there, dictating with his forehand. That's an exceptional point from Zverev. Some of the best forehands he's hit all match there. From the backhand corner, dictating play. It's 30-40. Chance for a double break. Look at that forehand inside, and he ripped that thing. good to see Zverev stepping it up right here and taking this match. Exceptional serve and volley play from Mensik right there, and a fist pump. Nice to see. Saves the break point with a nice little backhand drop volley. Mensik is so good at these volleys. Has such good hands at the net. And that's a far from easy to volley. Look where he hit it. Hit that like around the socks. I guess he had a big serve down the tee there. It's called let. A nice play there from Mensik. Another big serve down the tee. Follows it up with a beautiful backhand down the line. From the service line. Zverev can't get to it, add in. Such a difference mentally, you know, one break versus two breaks, you know, like keeping it within one break and having Zverev maybe towards the end of the set when it comes to winning this match, maybe he'll tighten up again and we'll give Mensik a chance to break back. Big forehand from Zverev again. He's hitting the forehand well. Forehand is woken up again. Zverev's forehand tight in the first set, then end of first set, very end of first set good, second set good, third set forehand bad again, fourth set forehand good again. Up and down forehand performance from Zverev. That is that serve went here. It went like here and was going here like that. There, over there. What an angle. That's insane. Love that serve. It's like a slicer. It's a Sampras used to hit that serve a lot too. It's like you aim right there, like a little bit shorter, and it has such a crazy trajectory. It's often an ace, but another beautiful point from Zverev there. Back to deuce. Mensik is just maybe overdoing it with that wide serve and volley. I mean, eventually it's going to go wrong. He does it again. This time pays the price. Doesn't do enough with the volley. And Zverev runs it down and puts the volley away. Break point. How many consecutive times did he do that play? Wide serve and volley on the deuce side. Too much. Zverev moving well though. The one thing that we don't often discuss about Zverev is his speed around the court. He's quite quick out there. Moves exceptionally well for a tall guy. A big forehand from Mensik right there to save another break point. Back to deuce. Why don't players start practicing the pancake serve? It would be very handy if you landed very short. Well, it's the same category as the underhand serve. You know, it can work as a surprise tactic every now and then, but these guys are so fast. Even if they stood right at the fence and you did a pancake serve or underhand serve, see, it's not like you have an incoming ball where you can create a lot of backspin. It's very difficult to create backspin on underhand serve. So long story short, those are not that difficult to run down for these guys. So in other words, it could work, but there's a risk. There's a risk to it. If they run it down, you know, as an underhand server, you're toast. But as a surprise tactic, you startle the guy, you know, it of course can work. And it does work quite a bit, but you'll never see that utilized at the top level. There's a reason for it. Whoa. The most beautiful volley of the match so far. Look at that thing. I mean, he's hit other ones before, but that's a Johnny Mac volley right there. Pat Rafter style volley. A beautiful angled drop volley with his backhand cross court. He slides into it. Incredible play. What feel too. You see that racket going backwards, how he absorbed that ball. That's an incredible play right there from Mensik. He's got a nice volley. I was very impressed. I didn't realize how good he is at the net. The way he volleyed against Fonseca, and even now in this match, he's coming in quite a bit. Very impressive. Holds 3-1. Keeping this within one break is a humongous difference, mentally speaking. So let's see if Zverev shows any signs of nerves. Oh, 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 oh. Whoa. Zverev with right close to, Mensik with a drop shot. Comes in. This is crazy. Zverev, okay, slow down, Nick. Mensik hits a drop shot, Zverev runs it down, comes in, and then it's a ball that's like, Zverev has a volley, and then Mensik hits a ball that's like, looks like it's going to just clear the net, but clips the tape, and Zverev doesn't get it over the net. Love 15. Look at that thing. It just clips the top of the net just a little bit. And Mensik was right there. That made it even more difficult because Zverev could probably see him in his peripheral vision. Okay, kicking himself with that backhand. Huge serve from Zverev. Big return from Mensik. Zverev gives him a short response, and Mensik misses a half-court backhand. 15-all. Big forehand from Zverev. And draws the backhand error from Mensik, 30-15. The big serve, too. Big wide serve from Zverev. Taylor Fritz has done the pancake serve and been successful. You talk about the serve with the side spin serve. Another backhand error from Mensik, but I wouldn't put that on as an unforced error. He was pulled off the court there by Zverev. 40-15, Zverev playing well. I thought you meant pancake serve, like one of these, like just plopping it over. Like you talk about the serve from Fritz where he hits it with the other side of the racket. This one here, with side spin. That's different. That's a funky serve because it has a completely different spin on it. What a game from Zverev. Got to give him credit. I mean, he played well. After that funky first point, showing it again where the ball clipped the tape, he misses that easy little shot there close to the net. And he rattled off 4 solid points, holds 4-1. And I'm still drinking the coffee. Yeah, I got a little bit left. I'm going to get another one before the Caboli Arnaldi match. I'm going to go out and go to Whole Foods. I got to get some food. Take a little break. There's enough time, I think, no? Or maybe not. No. Wait. No, it's not enough time. No, it's already 11:24. That match is at 1. There's not enough time, actually. Yeah. Not going to have enough time to go to Whole Foods. That's okay. Yeah, I'll probably get another coffee, though. I'll go out and get another one for the second match. And then once Roland Garros is over, I'm done with coffee for life. That will be the last coffee I'll ever have in my entire life. Even when I go to Europe and all those beautiful cafes on every corner, in Croatia especially, with the cafes on Island Brač where I go to with the beautiful views, I'm not going to sit down in any of those ever again, and I'm done with coffee for life. No more. Next, you can pick up orders and get home delivery. Yeah, I might do that. I got the Amazon home delivery membership. It's like $10 a month or something. I do it, yes. Zverev changing his racket. 9 seconds left on the shot clock for Zverev. Time violation, Zverev. Long rally here. Let's see if Zverev can put the pressure in the first point. Hits a big forehand down the line. It's the correct shot. Misses it by a little bit. Not hating that though. Not hating him going for that shot. $15 love. And what a play from Zverev. Beautiful backhand approach shot. A nice little forehand cross-court volley winner. 15-all. Umpire coming down, getting booed. I don't know if the umpire is getting booed, but another super tight serve from Mensik. He goes wide again. He's been going there all day. Umpire calls it in. Zverev arguing. Where's the Hawkeye though? There's Hawkeye. Shows it in. Hawkeye confirms. 30-15. Serve and volley from Mensik. He's some serve and volleyer, Mensik. Don't you guys think like he could be extremely good on grass and potentially be an absolute nightmare to deal with? I certainly think so. Great return there from Zverev. That was a big serve from Mensik down the tee. Great backhand return. Hits it inside in. Mensik with the backhand error, 40-30. Anna says, "Are you watching the Arnaldi match privately or streaming it?" I'm gonna stream it. I did something a little different yesterday. On top of this incredible backhand down the line error from Mensik deuce, on top of this incredible board that I have right here, this is a new a new feature of the live stream. I'm also gonna start scheduling my live streams. Maybe get a couple more people in here. And I'm also going to start doing trailers. So where I'll do a little trailer with the prediction for the match, or maybe not even prediction, I don't know yet, but there's a little like preview for the match, schedule it. And I tried to do the schedule today without the preview. It didn't really make any difference in the numbers. But I'm going to keep trying to optimize these lives. And I definitely will do the second one. Yeah, I got it already scheduled for 1 o'clock. Add in from Mensik, big forehand there. His high forehand is very good. Mensik's high forehand, when he gets a little bit of loop on it. That's why I thought that Mensik didn't take advantage of the loopy forehands of Zverev in the first set. That Mensik should have won the first set. And just imagine where we would be now if Mensik had won that first set. So that was crucial right there. But nevertheless, he holds serve. Big serve out wide there. And 4-2. Here's some Czech stats. 8 major champions. Lendl, Kodesh, Korda, Mandlikova. Her daughter plays on tour. She goes by the name, I guess, Mandlik. Or her daughter goes, that's her daughter. She plays on tour. She played against my player, Emma, at a recent tournament. Lost. And then we have Kvitova, Krejcikova, Novotna, Vondrousova, and 2 reach number 1, Lendl, and the ace queen, Pliskova. We're ranked number 1 in the world. What a tennis nation. Nothing but respect. Okay, I don't think they had Navratilova in that list too, though, but don't forget, Navratilova is Czech as well. Nice first point of the service game. Big T serve and a forehand winner from Zverev. 15-love. Ripped that forehand. That's what you want to see from Zverev. Ripping forehands. Rob Willie, Nick, from what you saw today, what do you think happened to Mensik? Fatigue mentality of his game or all? It's so hard to say, you know? It's so hard to say. Yeah, it could be a lot of different things, you know? Could be a combination of all those things. It was nice to see him here and there find some good tennis, like in the third set, some portions of the first, but overall, I do think he's far away from his best. I think Mensik can play a lot better than he did here. And he had a great opportunity in that first set, you know? Despite not having played that well, he had opportunities in this one. Big serve from Zverev down the tee, right on the line. 40-love. That is a monster serve right there. Let's check the ace count real quick. Ace count for Zverev in the match is 6 aces for Zverev. He's usually kind of low on the ace count. Like he's nowhere near the top when it comes to aces per match. I better check that before I make a statement like that. I want to be factual. Let's check who has the most aces per match on the ATP Tour. Okay, guys? Zverev holds 5-2. We're going to take a look at the statistics real quick. Who has the most aces per match on the ATP Tour? I'm going to present you guys with some numbers right here. Okay, I think it's probably going to be Pericard or Opelka. Average aces match is Opelka 1, Pericard 2, Fritz 3. Guess who's number 4, guys? It's your boy Mensik with 12.2 per match. But number 1 is Opelka with 17.9. Number 2 is Pericard with 14.9. Number 3 is Fritz, 13.7. Zverev is not even in the top 10. Zverev is 23 in the world in aces per match at 8. And there's a reason for that. I think that's connected to his first serve percentage, you know, and his intention on the serve is not always to go close to the line. And he plays it in safer targets. And that's how he can be like 80% on his first serve sometimes. Otherwise, that would be absolutely impossible at that speed, you know, because Zverev serves very fast. All right, 5-2. Let's see if Zverev tries to finish it off right here. He's 1 game away from a Roland Garros final, his second one. Out from Mensik, bluff 15. Backhand long. There's a weird looking backhand. Kind of leaned into it weirdly. Jasper Manema, what do you mean with Ivanišević regarding aces? Well, tell me what you're looking for regarding Ivanišević. He's got the most aces in a single season at 1,477. All-time ace leader is John Isner, I think. It's a nice point from Mensik right there. Very aggressive, 15-all. That's a good question, Rob Willie. Who has a better chance to beat Zverev in a final, Cobolli or Arnaldi? I think Cobolli by far has a better chance to beat. I don't see Arnaldi beating Zverev. I just don't see it. I don't see that. But I can kind of make an argument for Cobolli. I mean, I don't see that either. I picked Zverev a long time ago to win this thing. But I can make arguments for Cobolli more than I can make arguments for Arnaldi. And he's beaten him in Munich this year, Cobolli. Then Zverev beat him in Madrid very easily in straight sets, and like 4-1. But still, I feel Cobolli is like the best clay court player, the better clay court player compared to Arnaldi. But we'll see. That's going to be interesting. Anything can happen in that one. I think that match is very close to 50-50, to be honest with you. I think Arnaldi, a lot of people are underestimating him. He's very, very good. But my gut feeling with Arnaldi is if he does end up beating Cobolli, if he makes it a final, I feel like he's been on the court so much. It's such a success. It's going to take such willpower and motivation and to go past that point and not be satisfied with that. It's going to be impossible for him to win Roland Garros. I just don't see it happening. It'll be such an incredible success to make it to a final in the context of what's been happening with him all year, that to go over that and say, okay, this is not enough. I want to beat Zverev right now, and to just, I mean, of course he wants to win the match. Don't get me wrong, but it's very complicated to explain. I just feel like there might be just a 0.01% satisfaction deep inside of him, Arnaldi, which is going to prevent him from going deep enough to be able to beat Zverev in that match. So I think I just don't see him doing that. But Cobolli is a completely different story. I feel like he could beat Zverev. I think there's a chance. Don't think it'll happen, but I think there is a chance that Cobolli could beat Zverev in the final. That's just my gut feeling. Mensik holds. It's Zverev 5-3 serving for the match. Will Zverev choke now? Banned books. I don't think so. Big serve down the tee. Forehand approach. Easy backhand put away. Into the open court, 15-love. Backhand volley put away, that is. Monster serve from Zverev and a very good forehand into the forehand side of Mensik, 30-love. Forehand, good in the fourth set from Zverev, especially towards the end of it. It's like first set bad, second set good, third set bad, fourth set good. Forehand up and down. If Arnaldi is feeling good and is too nervous, he could put Zverev in tennis hell as well. Yeah, theoretically, yes, but I feel that it might be one of those matches where it's like a straight set win for Zverev. I think the better entertainment factor-wise, I think you want Cobolli in the final. If you want to have a match that's going to be tight with a lot of drama, I feel like Cobolli has a better chance to make that happen. Backhand error from Zverev, 30-15. Could this game get complicated for Zverev? Monster serve from Zverev. Ace down the tee. 2 match points, 40-15. This is a very good set of tennis from Zverev right here. Very impressed with him because that, this match could have turned into a nightmare once he had lost that third set. But he played well. From the very first game to the last, Zverev played a good set here. Another monster serve down the tee, misses it wide. It didn't miss by much. Second serve. And Mensik dumps the backhand into the net. Zverev is in another Roland Garros final. 7-5, 6-2, 3-6, 6-3. Interesting match for sure. Don't think it was a match at the highest level. Like I said throughout this video, Mensik was far away from his best. It could have been just the cumulative effect of being on the court that much, that his tank was a little bit empty. It could be the neck problem that he experienced. Could be the occasion where he found himself in for the first time in a Grand Slam semifinal. He played against a guy who's been there, done that, who's been in 3 finals. He's come past this stage, Zverev, so more experience on the Zverev side in that regard. So this was a tough match for Mensik, but it's still, I think, a career-changing tournament for him. Especially that Navone match, to me, was that maybe the second most important or the most important win of his career. He proved a lot in that match, and like I said during this video, the way he plays, he's a complete package. The only thing that's missing a little bit is the mental side, the focus. But he's got the whole package, and he's going to be extremely dangerous for everyone on tour, including Sinner and Alcaraz. So he's the future, 100%. It's a huge success, but also we have to give credit to Zverev. You gotta be able to put Mensik away in semifinals of a slam, and he did that. That's not an easy opponent, far from it. And Zverev displayed similar tennis in the last 3 matches. De Jong, Horar, and Mensik. He was tight, 100% tight in the beginning, and then he opened his game up. Got, I wouldn't say fortunate, but was able to win first sets in each one of these matches, which is a huge advantage. When you get through a first set like that, it opens you up, it frees you up. And in all these 3 matches, Zverev played a spectacular second set. Even here, he played a phenomenal second set. Then had a little bit of a dip in the third. The forehand started missing again, and Mensik started hitting incredible drop shots that are coming in a lot, serving well. So third set wasn't great from Zverev, but it was also way better from Mensik. And then the fourth set impressed me a lot from Zverev. Like I said, from the first point to the last point, Zverev was was playing well. Very consistent set, serving well, was trusting his forehand again, was ripping it. So this was a very good performance from Zverev. And we'll see what happens in the second semifinal, guys. I will be here. We got a little bit of a break now. I want to thank everyone for joining my live stream. This was great. And I will see you guys very soon. I got it already scheduled for 1 o'clock. So we'll be here on time as always, like a Swiss watch. You guys already know that. Just kidding. I will try to be on time. And I'll see you guys soon, okay? You take care.